Hey, welcome. This is GRD 100 Intro to Photoshop, and we're working in our textbook Exploring Adobe Photoshop CS6 with CC Enhancements by Toland and Hartman. We're in week 4, chapter 4, and this demo is going to start you out on your assignment, actually, the filling a bookcase assignment. And so we are going to first, in step 1, choose File and open 4L1 point or .psd in the Chapter 4 Lessons folder. I've already gotten that open. So then we're going to save a copy of this. Do File, Save As, and we're going to add our name to that. Okay, then we are going to choose View, Actual Pixels. And I think this is the version that doesn't have actual pixels, so I will do 100%. Holy moly, maybe I don't want to do that. Let's see what happens if we choose print size. Still it's huge. All right, this is the size I'm going to use. You're welcome to use whatever size you want to in order to make it best accommodate what it is you're trying to see. With my double screen, I have to make it a little bit smaller, but I think this will work for us. This one is at, see if I can bring this up. .2%, so works for me. All right, I'm going to move the toolbox over here, and then we are going to go to image size. And the image size dialog box comes up, and you'll note that the image is set at 72 pixels per inch. A good resolution if you're going to use this for the web, for screen display, or for experimenting with ideas. It's not good enough for documents that will be professionally printed, however. So keep that in mind if you're working on a design that's going to be printed. Now we're going to open the full .psd document located in the Chapter 4 Lessons Assets folder. So we are going to go to File and Open. And we're again going to go to where our Week 4 or Chapter 4 lesson files are. We're going to open Assets, and we're going to look for Full. Do you see a full there? I do not see a full there, but I'm going to try this finished and see what that shows us. And that's very similar. It's although I don't know that those are all the objects that we're going to work with, but you can see that the bookshelf has stuff on it. All right, now in order to see both the working file and the finished image preference, we're going to select Window, Arrange 2 Up Vertical. And if I were to move that over here, you could actually see both of them. All right, so we are going to then click on the Layers Panel Options menu icon. We're going to go up here to, we're going to bring up our Layers panel. Actually, it's already there, but we can't see it. All right, excuse me while I make this just a little bit easier for us to see. All right, so we are going to, again, click the Layers Panel Options menu icon. And then from the menu, we're going to select Panel Options. And then we are going to select the medium thumbnail size option and layer bounds for thumbnail contents. And then click OK. And then we're going to get the Move tool, which is V in Quick Key Language. And then in the Options panel, we're going to click the Auto Select box. So if you look at the top here, here's the Options bar, and this is the Auto Select box. And this will let you click on something in the image and interact with it right away, rather than having to select the layer first. Alright, now we are going to go back to our Photoshop file and open. And this time we're going to open the Photos PSD. I'm going to bring that up to the front and make that just a little bit larger so we can see it. You want to view the Layers panel, which is here, and you'll note that the photos are located on a background layer, which is called Background, which is locked, and you'll see that with this little lock icon. The background layer is the default layer of all new Photoshop files. New layers go above it, and you cannot change that layer stacking order, blending mode, or opacity. And it's not always necessary, however, to have a background layer, but it can be more convenient to convert it into an editable layer so you can create transparent content, move it up or down in the Layers panel, and so on. So to convert that, to make that happen, we're going to convert the background layer of the photo image. We're going to double click on, remember that doesn't let me do that. So we're going to type photos in here to rename it. See if I can get this over here so I can actually type photos. And then click OK. This will also unlock it so it becomes editable. So you'll find out, remember my double click doesn't work, so you'll find out when you double click that will bring up a dialog box, an options box. You can also access it through this layer options, I believe. Maybe not, but it brings up blending options. Well, hopefully when you double click it works. If not, I think that we can access layer options somewhere here. If you want to rename the layer, which is what we just did, it will highlight that for you, and you can unlock it like I did just by clicking on the lock icon. Alright, so normally if you double click, this is the dialog box that will come up. I can't show you that because that doesn't work on my computer, but you can see it in the textbook, figure 432. Now we're going to select the Magic Wand tool in the Tools panel. So we're going to go back to Photoshop, we're going to find the Tools panel, and we're going to look for the Magic Wand. This is the Magic Wand. It's two tools. We're going to make sure we have that Magic Wand tool. And then in the Options panel, we're going to set the tool's tolerance to 10. And this determines how many pixels within a certain color range it will select. So again, we've got the Magic Wand. We want to go up to this Options layer, and we'll see where it says Tolerance. We're going to select 10, or type in 10 and hit Tab. Now we're going to click on the white background. This is a pain in the neck today, isn't it? We're going to click on the white background of the photos image to select it. And you'll see that what happens is that all of the white pixels in that particular, on that layer are selected. You're going to press delete to remove it. And then you'll see that these gray checkerboard pixels come up. This indicates that this area is transparent. It's not visible when you print the image. It's got nothing in it. So we can change the grid size and colors or eliminate it entirely by using Photoshop preferences. But normally I just leave it at this gray grid to help me better understand what's transparent and what isn't. Now, remember we just had that background selected and deleted it. Now we're going to go to Select and Inverse. And what happens is that now means that all of the photos are selected rather than the background. I'm going to go to Edit and Copy. That's Command C or, if you're on a Mac, or Control C if you're on a Windows. And then we're going to close this file out without saving it. Now we're going to click on the empty bookcase window and choose Edit and Paste. Command V if you're on a Mac, or Control V if you're on a Windows. And I just pasted a blank a blank layer, it looks like. So I must not have had those bookshelves or the frames selected. So we're going to go back, and you can just sit with me as I redo that step, and I apologize to you for that. So first of all, we're going to double click, work that time of course, rename it Photos. That also unlocks that. We're going to quickly get the magic wand. I'm going to select in the white area and hit delete. Then I'm going to go up here to Select and Inverse. And then I'm going to copy, Command or Control C. And then I'm going to come back over here to this one before I close that other one out, and I am going to get rid of this layer. Then I'm going to do a Command or Control, or I'm going to do a Command V like Victor. And now you'll see that I actually have copied and pasted those into my bookshelf. I can close that out now because I have that. And I'm going to move this over just a little bit so I can see how large the pictures are on that bookcase. Okay, so they're quite a bit bigger than mine. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to go back to layer 1, which are the photos, and I'm going to do an option, no, I'm sorry, command. A command if you're on a Mac, a control if you're on a PC, to select all of those picture frames. Then I'm going to go up to Edit. I want to go to Edit anyway. What happened here? And then we are going to go to Transform and Scale. And then I'm going to hold down my Shift to scale that proportionally. Looks like it's a little bit too large, so I am going to click and drag that a little bit smaller. And then double click to impact that scale. All right, now back to the textbook. First note in the layers panel that the photos have been placed on a new layer, which they had been. We saw that. We double clicked on the layer, or we didn't, but the textbook is telling us to double click on the layer title and rename it Photos. So we're going to go back over here. No, my my double click is just so, there we go. So difficult to make work. All right. It's always good to name your layers, but you never know when you're going to need to find something again. And if you have, 110 layers, it's a lot easier to find it if you have it named something that's easily remembered or accessed. All right, so again in step 2, they're much too small, so we did an edit. Now they said a free transform. I just did simply a scale or transformed it. And then to complete the transformation, do one of the following. Click on the check mark button, which was up here when we transformed it, or you can double click. And now they're having you play with the warp transformation option. I'm not going to do that because I think it looks dumb, but certainly willing to play with it, have you play with it. All right, now we're going to get back down to adding another item, and this time we're going to open the candles PSD file. So I'm going to go over here, going to do a file and open. We're going to navigate out to where our data files are. We're going to look for candles, and we're going to click open. And there are the candles. And we're going to do the same thing, select the white background, we're going to inverse the selection, and then we're going to copy and paste it into the bookshelf. So, first thing is to get the magic wand tool. Remember, we want to click in the background to choose those. Oh, it doesn't look like, if you look at the layers, my background white is already eliminated. I'm going to turn off this background layer so you can see. And see, I have already have the transparent pixel. So the only thing that I need to do with this one then is put my cursor on the thumbnail of that layer. And we're going to hold down Command or Control if you're on a PC, Command if you're on a Mac, click, and that automatically selects the active pixels on that layer, which are the candlesticks. Then we're going to do a Command or Control C. We're going to X out of here. We're going to do a select and deselect because we don't want the candles pasted into that particular pictures layer or photos layer. Then we're going to do edit and paste, and there's the candlesticks. And I'm again going to double click on this to rename it. And then we want to use the Move tool to position them on the far right side of the third shelf. So we're going to use the Move tool, far right side of the third shelf, and there we go. They're already the right size. They don't require any transformations. So we're going to do a Command or Control S, and I am going to end up this particular demo. I'll be back in a minute to demo a little bit more on this particular exercise. See you in a few.